Hi, my name is Christina SfamenosChristinaMCProjectS and I'm a graduate student at Texas State University. I'd like to welcome you to my video about influencers in business. Influencers have been something I've been very interested in as everyday people are able to use their social platform to reach others, create a career, and ultimately become spokespeople for brands. Social media influencers are disrupting traditional advertising and have created a new form of marketing. Today, I'd like to walk you through the background of digital media marketing. What does it really mean to be an influencer? What is influencer marketing? Why is influencer marketing used? What are the risks and then the future of influencers? So to start with the evolution, I just want to touch on a few of these to give you a little bit of background, not dig too deep into them. So we'll start with 2000 with e-commerce sites. This is really when e-commerce had a lot of traction and really became popular. It's hard to believe that there was ever a time without having products at our fingertips, but this is really where it got popular. In 2005, we had our pop culture ringleaders, like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan. Anything they touched basically was sold out at that point. And then in 2007, we have our YouTube in-video ads that just started. This is really kind of the beginning of what made YouTube popular, how people can have careers by it, and the ad revenue it can create. And most importantly, in 2009, the rise of bloggers. Bloggers are really kind of where everyday people were able to gain a crowd, get influence, and become something of themselves. So it's kind of an important turning stone there. And then again, so 2013 was Instagram's first ad. This is really kind of showing the power of social media. With one ad in 18 hours, Michael Kors, which was that first ad, had received over 34,000 new followers, really emphasizing the power of social media. 2015, celebrity endorsements were changed from just having your picture on a bottle or in a commercial to posting on your social media, bringing it closer to home. And then 2017, kind of a new collaboration time where YouTubers or social media influencers were teaming up with brands and actually selling out within minutes. So very different, something new. And then finally in 2018, where traditional advertising such as print and TV are losing their potency. Brands are really looking to partner up with these influencers and micro influencers. They're so much so that they're actually sending PR to these people so that they'll continue to talk about the product. So kind of an interesting so far. So celebrity versus influencer, can they be both? Well, I said the word influencer a few times, and I want to clarify exactly what I mean. There are celebrities which definitely hold influence, such as Selena Gomez, Cristiano Ronaldo, and DJ Khaled. They have huge platforms and contracts with large brands such as Coach, Nike, and Rock. Their following comes from their talents and public influence. They've received their following from, record labels or sports careers. They're true public figures that show up in traditional media and have gained their fame in a traditional way. While you have influencers, true influencers whose claim to fame is truly from their online presence. There are influencers such as Lily Singh, Andrew Bachelor, and Michelle Pham. These influencers built their following by creating content on YouTube and other social media platforms. Instead of going through a record label or a traditional pipeline, they displayed their talents online and became famous view by view. They were able to secure large contracts such as Coca-Cola, Jimmy John's, and Lancome, which is also an illustration of the fact that brands see the value in power in influencers. They may not have quite as many followers as celebrities that I've listed, but they still have created some sort of stardom. So when I say influencer, I truly mean influencer, not necessarily celebrity. So what is influencer marketing? Now that we know what influencers are and the power that they have, let's dive into what actual business practice of influencer marketing. Brands and companies see individuals with large followings. The idea is truly for a business to partner up with an influencer so that they'll be able to talk about and promote their brand. The large following will see the trusted influencer so that brand will get more organic views on the product, be able to spread the brand message or any kind of service. This type of marketing is truly just leveraging the pre-built following that comes along with influencers. Because for businesses, creating an actual following on their own can be very expensive. Well, you're probably wondering, well, I saw the evolution of digital media, but why did the shift even happen? Why did it shift this direction? Well, really, the answer is the internet. The internet democratized influence and gave the power to the public, which allowed everyday people to have huge followings. These large followings were a luxury that only celebrities had had before. Additionally, the internet produced blogging and social media, which created a huge connected platform for friends and strangers to collaborate and share together. Celebrities don't have the time or energy to be able to interact with their followers all the time, but influencers have much more of a personal impact and interaction, which again shifted the preference for consumers to receive information differently. Which leads me to my next question. Why do consumers respond to influencer marketing? Well, we're living in the internet age of authenticity. Consumers are no longer passive receptacles. Instead, they want to be in charge of their own decisions, and they're on the hunt for brand stories that they can connect with, get behind, and believe in. But really, to do this, authenticity is key, as is building trust, and people trust people more than they trust brands. So this is kind of a very big, foundation of why influencers work. So to bring some more statistics, well, millennials and Gen Z can tell when promotions are just based on a contract. They can see and feel that authenticity. 84% of millennials don't trust traditional advertising, which is why influencers are so well received. They bring more authentic endorsements. In a way, influencer marketing is an upmarket version of word of mouth advertising, which is still one of the most powerful advertising tools around. Yes, even in this day and age where we spend more time on our laptops and with our friends, influencers create a certain level of trust with the customer and can relate more directly with consumers. As we can see in the chart above, that blue one right up there, it shows that 70% of teen subscribers think that YouTubers are more relatable than celebrities, which means that if you have a YouTuber associated with your brand and they say something positively, your consumer may think more positively as well and relate. As well, 88% of consumers treat their online recommendations just as much as their personal recommendations. Again, going back to that word of mouth. And then lastly, in an age of banner blindness and ad blocking, as well as the rate of which influencer impact and budgets grow, influencer marketing is shaping the industry, and innovative marketers are increasing their investment because they know it works. So moving on to what are the risks associated with teaming up with an influencer? Well, some ethical issues that have come up recently are the misrepresentation of sponsored advertising. It's quite difficult to tell if a picture or a post from a profile is authentic or has been sponsored. It needs to be clear that the viewer is actually aware that they are looking at or watching an ad. You don't want to misrepresent the message that you're giving to the consumer. So to kind of combat this, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, has tried to influence this by mandating that all posts must state that they are in a contract, such as putting hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored, etc. So the FTC has only enforced this rule 4 times, which is hard to believe since thousands of posts are posted every day. So it's kind of up to you to make sure that you and your influencer are acting in a way that aligns with your brand standards. Another risk factor to think about when using influencer marketing is the fact that it's pretty new. There are going to be rules and trends that are going to keep evolving throughout this industry, so it may be hard to keep up with. But the silver lining in this all is that if you're teaming up with an influencer that is ethical and responsible, you'll have less volatility moving forward. As well, you also have some risks that are really just general risks that come with any kind of spokesperson. I'm actually going to show you a few examples of celebrities, so maybe not an influencer, but there is kind of a crossover here in these risks, so they might be in it for the paycheck. There's a few examples such as like Scott Disick showing on his Instagram posting, but you can see that he literally just copied and pasted it out of his email. He does not care about the brand, just about the paycheck. Number 2, they may not stay in line with your content strategies, such as Ariana Grande promoting a drink when she's clearly a vegan, and she's promoting a drink that has dairy and eggs in it, so not quite, a very good fit there. And then the last 2, such as they could increase the likelihood of scandal or they can alienate your customers. Just some other risks when choosing an influencer to, promote your product. Well, the future of influencers, now that we know, the full spectrum, we know exactly what we're trying to work with. Here are a few things that are required of influencer marketing going forward. So long-term relationships and contracts are going to be necessary. The popularity of influencers means that the power will be in the influencers' hands. If they find a better deal, they can be stolen by competitors. Consumers really trust what influencers say, so if a contract lapses and a competitor brings in a better deal, your brand could lose its exclusivity and its viewers, which is why longer contracts and stronger relationships between influencers and brands are going to have to take place. Additionally, another opportunity for businesses to use, though, is micro-influencers. Big named influencers with millions of followers will come with a hefty price tag, which can lead businesses to investing in a handful of micro-influencers who are able to create and reach sometimes more meaningful consumer interactions. And finally, where I really think that the future of influencers are going to go is that if influencers are going to be the next big thing, they're going to be measured on more than vanity metrics. It's not just going to have to be views and likes and impressions, engagement, things like that. Those are really great tools, but they aren't necessarily going to help a business understand its full return on investment. So influencers are going to need to bring something to businesses other than just engagement. They're going to need to be able to track performance and attribute sales to their bottom line. So that's just kind of where I see future of influencers going and where my research has showed me. So if you enjoyed this presentation and learned a lot about influencers and how they're going to affect businesses in the future, I really hope you enjoyed it. So thank you. I look forward to seeing all of yours. Please leave some awesome comments, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the classes put together. Have a great one.